What's up, y'all? Welcome back to an ESPN NFL 2K5 franchise rebuild with the Miami Dolphins, and I don't want to speak too soon, but it's really feeling like we are the kings of the West Coast. We took home a huge win against the Seattle Seahawks up in Seattle, and now we travel down to the Bay Area, San Francisco, to take on the 49ers, who are currently 2-8, and most likely a large part of that is due to Tim Rattay. Fun fact, maybe you're little known, Tim Rattay was one of the two quarterbacks who actually went in and mocapped for this game back in the development cycle. Maybe it was 2003, 2004 sort of era. It did not translate into him being good in the game. As you can see, he's only in the mid-70s. I've sort of glossed over Kevin Barlow, and then there's also Fred Beasley, who is an absolutely elite run blocker and pass blocker, I guess, in that fullback position, sort of a position that's aging out of the NFL at this point in time. Rashawn Woods is that 76 overall rookie who has a promising future ahead of him. And then on the defensive side of the ball is really where the 49ers shine. Unfortunately, defense could win you championships. It doesn't seem to have won them too many games so far, but their two guys over 90 are both Julian Peterson at the outside linebacker position and Tony Parrish in the strong safety position. So only one guy on their injury report. It's their backup halfback, Jamal Robertson, still doubtful with a dislocated elbow. I don't believe he will be seeing the field today. And as you can see here, we actually don't really stack up that great against the 49ers, but their offense is just terrible compared to their elite defense. And I guess it just hasn't translated into too many wins. So if you think that we are going to get the win against the 49ers, make sure you leave a like on the video, leave a comment on who your favorite player on this Miami Dolphins team is so far. And if you feel like subscribing and you haven't already, subscribing always helps us. Let's send it to the studio. Chris Berman, take it away.
Hi there, I'm Chris Berman. Here we go on ESPN. They were a playoff team for 16 out of 18 years, a run that included amazing 5 Super Bowl titles. But after a tumultuous last few years, did the 49ers have the talent to strike gold again? Dolphins, 49ers. It's go time.
Finding their seats for the game. Welcome everybody to San Francisco, California. I'm Dan Stevens. Here with me in the booth, my longtime associate, Peter O'Keefe. Peter, this game has got a playoff atmosphere with a chance at the #1 spot in the division at stake.
Well, the pressure's on, Dan. You better believe it. Can secure #1 in their division with a win. And with these kind of matchups, it all comes down to rhythm. Whatever team can establish an offensive and defensive rhythm earliest will come away with the win.
This game looks like it could become half football, half mud wrestling. Back to you, guys.
Susie, thank you.
4 receivers line up as the defense settles into a nickel package.
No good, incomplete. Rattay throws a bullet here, and it's intercepted. Tackled at the 30. The Dolphins are going to try and capitalize on the interception. They'll start this drive at the 25-yard line. Parrish tackles in behind the line of scrimmage. Williams gets the call again and gets past the line. Williams catches it in the flat and is at the 20. Hunted down at the 12. First down. Palmer throws a bullet to the flat, and the catch is made at the 14. Stopped at the 12. Conrad catches the left sideline, and he's looking for room. Tackled at the 7. Palmer throws this one on a rope, and it's not reeled in. Incomplete. Mare with a 24-yarder, and they take the lead. The 49ers stalled early last drive, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here. They'll start at their own 21-yard line. Reels in the football, and that's a gain of 7 on the play. Taylor sacks him way back at the 22.
Jason Taylor, he's an animal down there. 6'6", 255, and he's able to squeeze that body into the pocket and show the quarterback a face full of green. Well, Dan, we got an empty backfield, 5 receivers, and the defense is in their dime. Let's watch.
Poole makes a play on this one and forces the incompletion. That will bring up 4th down. Williams gets the toss and runs into traffic, forces through, tackled at the 46. Palmer passes this one, and it falls incomplete. Williams gains 3 yards, and that will bring up 4th down. Conrad will get the carry on 4th down, and Michael grabs the dart right sideline, and he's got the 1st down and a whole lot more. Williams will get the carry on 1st down and heads wide left. Finally popped out of bounds at the 40. It will be 1st down. Williams carries it for the 6th time and heads wide right. Fights off the tackle. Finally dropped at the 28. That will bring up 1st down. Williams picks up about 2, and that brings up 2nd down. And that'll do it for quarter number 1. The Dolphins with a small lead, 3-0.
Williams didn't get very far on that last play, and he even had the help of some blocking.
Brought down at the 16. 1st down. Williams will get the handoff and runs into traffic. Stopped at the 14. Palmer zings it to the right side, and the catch is made at the 12, and he's stopped right there. Number 36 tips it away on the coverage. Incomplete down situation.
Pressure cooker of a play, and the D played it tight.
It's up through the goal post. Good. The 49ers have had some trouble moving the ball recently. We'll see what they do on this drive as they start at their own 23-yard line. Barlow gets the call on 1st down and will gain close to 6. Barlow gets the call again and heads upfield, brought down at the 35.
On offense, it was always a plus to avoid 3rd down altogether, just like that. Check that out. Those last year numbers are solid.
Barlow will get stopped at the line, and that will bring up 2nd down. No dice, and it falls incomplete. Rattay throws a heater right sideline and caught. However, it's short of the markers. It'll be 4th down. Palmer Fires this one over the middle, and the ball is caught for a gain of 7 on the play. Williams chews up 4 yards, and that will bring up first down. Carter tackles him behind the line of scrimmage. This one will fall incomplete. Palmer throws a high, long one to the right, and the reception's made at the 36. Finally stopped at the 26. It will be first down. Williams is at the 15. Williams gains a bunch on the play, and that brings up first down. Rips him down in the backfield, and the clock will continue to run. For a touchdown! Now the point after, and it's good. Tay throws a bullet to the flat, and it's complete at the 21. Eventually pushed out of bounds at the 39. That will bring up first down. Lloyd didn't haul that one in, and it falls incomplete. Tay throws a heater, and they can't connect. Incomplete. Intercepted. Tackled at the 39. Palmer throws the pass, and it's tipped. Incomplete. Boston grabs the bullet, and the Dolphins take their first time out. Palmer throws a bullet to the flat, and it's caught at the 48. Tackled, and the clock will continue to run. It will be first down. Plummer hammers the receiver and forces him to drop the ball. Incomplete. Palmer zips it to the left sideline, and the ball's caught at the 30. Boston. The Dolphins take a timeout. Palmer ropes this one to the end zone, and it's off. Incomplete. Chambers hauls it in right side and on cylinders. They seem to produce yards at will.
They sure do, Dan. This is a great offensive game plan we're seeing today.
And that'll do it for the first half of this one. The Dolphins enjoying the lead 13-0. And now let's send you to Chris Berman in our studios in Bristol for the ESPN Halftime Report. Boomer?
All right, Dan, interesting game at the half. We'll get back to you guys in a bit. First, we welcome everybody to our ESPN Halftime Report. I'm Chris Berman. A look at our first half numbers now, and the stat that leaps out at you, third down conversion. The Dolphins are winning because of it. Let's see if they can keep up their dominance in the second half. Time now for our Halftime Hero Award, which recognizes the most dominant player of the first half. This time there can be no question. Carson Palmer has taken over this game. And now let's return to the second half. Dan Stevens and Peter O'Keefe.
Thanks, Boomer, and welcome back to our broadcast.
We can't get cocky. We just have to keep after it and give them no chance to come back on us. Back to you, Dan.
Thanks, Susie. The Dolphins are going to try and capitalize on the interception. They'll start this drive at their own 19-yard line. No good. Incomplete.
And one to get his confidence back.
Second down, just a single receiver on the field. Williams will get the carry on second down and gains about 3 yards. Austin makes the catch out to the left, and he's got such a vice-like grip, Peter. It's got to be hard to break out of his grasp, even when you're one of the slipperier runners.
Absolutely.
This drive begins at their 46-yard line. Barlow takes his fourth carry of the game and heads out right. Brought down at the 48. Barlow chews up 4 yards, and that brings up third down. Madison hammers the receiver and forces him to drop the ball. The Dolphins stalled early last drive, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here. They'll start at their own 20-yard line. McMichael goes in motion. Williams gains 8 yards, and that brings up second down. Williams carries it for the 15th time and picks up the first down. Lum tips it away on the coverage, incomplete. Williams gets past the line and takes it upfield. Tackled at the 38. Williams gets the call on third down and heads out right. Stopped at the 43. That will bring up first down. Palmer throws a heater right sideline and it's off. Incomplete. Williams dodges this one way out right and maybe picks up one on the play. Palmer throws a bullet to the flat, and it's caught at the 48. Barlow picks up a yard on the play, and Barlow takes this one way out left and heads wide left. Finally gets out of bounds at the 43. It will be first down. Barlow carries it for a third time in a row and picks up a couple. Barlow chews up 4 yards, and that will bring up third down. Barlow takes the handoff and searches for a hole. Hammered down at the 48. Howard will be credited with the tackle. Number 30 picks up about 2, and they get past the markers and convert the fourth down. Barlow goes right up the middle and picks up a couple. Seau makes a play on this and forces the incompletion. Latte throws a beauty to the right side, and it's not reeled in. Incomplete. Well, the D holds tight on third and long and forces an incompletion. That was a good call by the defensive coordinator.
Oh, it sure was. Perfect D for that situation.
And it will bring up fourth down. The Dolphins had their last drive stall out at the end. We'll see if they can keep momentum throughout this one, which starts at their own 26-yard line. Palmer tosses it down the left side, and it's caught at the 50, 35, 20, 15, fumbled. They get it back. 5, brought down hard at the 4. It'll be first and goal.
Randy McMichael is going to keep his wits about him here and make a smart play. The ball's loose, but now he gains control.
Williams has his number called on first down and will lose about a yard here. Williams chews up 4 yards, and that brings up third down. Williams carries it for the 21st time and gets the touchdown. Coach Erickson doesn't agree with the call, and we're going to see the red flag.
Well, let's take a look and see if he actually gets the ball across the plane. Remember, all you need to do is have the tip of the ball cross it.
He likes the call, and you sort of have a feeling that he knew it all along. Williams has his number called on fourth down and gets in for the score. Williams carries it yet again and passes the line. The 2-point conversion is good. Latte fires this one over the middle, and it's complete at the 43. Chased down at the 50. First down. Catches the heater left sideline, and he's just barely past the markers for a first. Latte sings it to the right side, and the ball is caught at the 28. First down, tight end to the left. Barlow grabs the fastball over the middle, and that's good for 6. Latte throws a bullet, and it's tipped. Incomplete. Prater pitches it over the middle. Latte throws a bullet to the flat, and it falls incomplete. They will turn the ball over on down.
They'll have to be lucky as well as good to pull this one out.
The Dolphins offense takes the field, and can they capitalize on the defensive stop? Well, they'll start this drive at their own 15-yard line. Minor takes it off the toss and picks up a couple. Minor gets the call again and takes it upfield. Tackled at the 25. Number 26 has his number called on third down and converts the third down. Minor will get the carry on first down and picks up a couple. Minor has his number called on second down and heads left. Tackle. The 49ers take. Conrad will get the carry on third down, and the 49ers will take a time. Latte throws a bullet to the flat, and it's the 49ers take a timeout. That's their final one. Trader hauls in the pass, and he's got the first. The clock continues to tick down. First down, one man down. Latte zips it to the left sideline, and this one is incomplete. Wood makes the catch on the right sideline and gets past the markers for a first down. Latte dumps this one to the flat, and it's intercepted. stop at the 42. The Dolphins come out on top 21-0. For my partner, Peter O'Keefe, this is Dan Stevens saying goodbye until next time.
All right, gang, great work as always. And with that, we welcome everybody back to the ESPN studios for our ESPN Video Games postgame show. I'm Chris Berman. The Dolphins stepped it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. Now let's talk to a player who was instrumental in their dominant running game and is our player of the game. Ricky Williams is on hand with Susan Culver. Suze?
Thanks, Chris. You played great today, and you prevailed with a big victory. What do you think was vital to your team's success today?
Defensively, our DBs did a heck of a job today. They did well on coverage, were reading the plays. They played big time today. They should get a lot of credit for this win.
Chris, back to you.
Thanks for tuning into ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports for 25 years and counting. I'm Chris Berman. We'll see you next time.
Now, don't quote me on this, but I think this might actually have been the first shutout that we've ever managed to do in one of these rebuild videos. So we take home the victory 21-0 here in the rainy Bay Area of San Francisco. Carson Palmer had a pretty great day after a slow start, 218 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions compared to Tim Rattay's 3 interceptions. I told you he was not that great in the game. Ricky Williams had a pretty strong day, 22 attempts, 94 yards, substandard by his running ability this year, but he still managed to get into the end zone once on that 4th down conversion on the goal line that was called back by the referees on the challenge. And then also not shown is his 2-point conversion, just because we were feeling spiteful and we wanted that even 21. Chris Chambers had 4 receptions for 96 yards, including that big one that sent him all the way down the field that he managed to fumble and then had it recovered by his tight end. Thank you, McMichael, for pursuing the play. And he had, I guess they still credit him with that 64-yard reception since it shows him as the long. Now, when you kick the crap out of a team and you do it by running the ball a lot, you're not going to be very high in the tackle stats, as we see here. Going into assist, Sam Madison gets on the list. Sammy Knight gets on the list. Our secondary probably had the most to do because they just didn't run the ball that much. We shut down the run game pretty well throughout most of the game. Jason Taylor did get the sack for the Dolphins. 1 total sack. Andre Carter and Adams getting in there for half a sack each for the 49ers defense. Good job by the Miami Dolphins offensive line. Honestly, Ron Howard had a couple of passes deflected and, of course, that interception that sealed the game. But the Miami Dolphins continue to be ball hawks. 1 interception for Sammy Knight. Zach Thomas with an athletic interception, possibly beyond his years, as you saw about halfway through the game. And the Miami Dolphins are moving on to 7-4, and we're taking on the Buffalo Bills, our first victory in the NFC East, so hopefully going to get another one there. They're only 3-8, struggling through the season, so hopefully our winning ways can continue. Now, looking at the Week 12 results, Dallas, Indy getting to 8-3, Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, Tennessee moving to 7-4, and Kansas City also getting to that 7-4 point. Minnesota's 7-4, New England gets to 6-5. Philly goes to 9-2. Washington still showing strong at 8-3. The Jets are 7-4, our main competition in the AFC East. New Orleans, Miami, ourselves, Seattle, Denver, and Green Bay all closing out the week with victories. And that is going to do it for this episode of the Miami Dolphins Rebuild. Thank you so much for hanging out. As always, we're going to be back at home and back against the AFC East in this next one. So if you've made it this far, make sure you're smashed up on that subscribe button. Leaving a like and a comment always helps with that YouTube algorithm. And I thank you, as always, for choosing to spend some of your time with me. And for Peanuts 24/7, we will look forward to seeing you on the next one.